Len Robbins, and welcome to the show.
The Tommy DeVito story is fun, and it's so Jersey. But I'm just waiting for like the other shoe to drop because we've seen that happen so many times. Are you enraptured in the Tommy DeVito story?
Look, I'm enraptured by the story. I mean, really, this is sort of like the New Jersey version of Rudy, right?
Yes,
you know, the kid wasn't even like a great college quarterback, but right place, right time. I mean, everything that can go wrong did go wrong for the Giants, and he's seizing the moment. And the mere idea about the kid is they really liked him in that locker room. But what clinched it for me was, did you see the attire that his agent was wearing the other day?
How great was that outfit?
Yes.
Looked like he went to the Sopranos set and took something off Stevie Van Zandt, didn't it?
Yes.
Right. Now, there is no way that guy has to go through a metal detector. No way.
The time.
Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
And a very pleasant good morning, everybody. Great to be with you here, the Defo Show. Jeff DeForest along with the handsome one over there. On what would it be? I don't know. Is this juxtaposed, Libby? When I'm looking at it, are you on the left side of the screen or the right side of the screen for the viewers?
On the side I'm always on.
No, I know you are, but I mean, what would that be? I mean, do we have to turn this thing around? It's kind of a.
I think they see us the way we present ourselves. I don't know. That's a good question.
However, the other guy, I mean, that isn't me. That isn't the guy talking right now. Is Mike Lubie Lubitz, one of the greats. So we had a long day yesterday. Lubie did like 5 shows in one day.
Long day. Welcome. I'm proud of you. You did it. Yeah, Neo and I have been doing a few of these. It's a lot, but if we're getting people in and keeping people happy, then it's worth it.
No, it's good. I mean, yesterday was a very enterprising effort. There is. I love Burt Rappaport of the Rappaport Restaurant Group.
Fantastic. He really is classic.
What a great guy, man. Big sports fan, too. So it was fun seeing him. We were at Max's Grill in the afternoon. And then one of my favorite places, I really love this joint, Sicilian Oven.
It's funny. We both like this place from totally different sides of the town. They do a really good job.
2 locations near me. Like I have to debate. I guess the Lighthouse Point one we're at yesterday is closer to me and that was the original store. I didn't realize that was their original. And then there's one on Oakland Park Boulevard that would be considered their Fort Lauderdale location. But one of the things, and it's fascinating because really they should have some of these restaurateurs like our man Reno Sorbonne or any of the guys, Joey Esposito, that are involved with our program, like Mayo's Lunchbox. They should be running teams, shouldn't they?
Honestly.
This guy yesterday from Brooklyn, a partner, and his last name, very Italian.
Yes.
But anyway, I mean, what a well-run operation that is. He was absolutely right. They have, it's not a chain per se, Sicilian Oven. I guess you could consider it a chain in that it's a chain, but it's not a corporate chain. It's kind of like La Spada's.
It's a chain, but the one group, one family.
Yes.
I guess they're not exactly families, but they're not like this restaurant group. One partners own all of them.
Yes.
And involved in all of them. So they
they set up to make a score, huh? I mean, if they ever sell out to the corporate world.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't. I mean, look, I guess if you're a place like that and whoever you sell out to follows what you've done, but I don't know if they always.
If I own 10 restaurants, see, that's dedication. If I own 10 restaurants, obviously you're making money.
No,
because they're all very successful. But and somebody comes at me with a giant, big, fat check like they did with Anthony Bruno, with Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza. Wouldn't the temptation be, Lubie, to say, you know what? You can have it. But unfortunately, that usually comes with it's sad, but I mean, when the people, they really care about their places, and then the corporations come in, hedge funds and all of this or whatever, capital groups, and the place goes into some kind of decline. Mayo was adamant about that Coal-Fired Pizza, Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza, no longer owned by Anthony Bruno, sold out, made a big number.
Yeah.
Has really gone downhill. I don't know. I haven't been to an Anthony's Coal-Fired in a while, but
look, what happens a lot of time is they streamline things, and when you streamline things and you cut costs, get rid of a level of quality. That's just how that is. Also, what we've seen a lot of in this day and age is all they really care about is the real estate. So they actually don't care about the food. These really big groups, groups, not all of them,
good point.
but a lot of them. So what happens is just because of that, they put out very generic. They change the items. They simplify things, which is fine. But
shaved the cost down,
I like to say enough.
Compromise on quality. Yeah. All right. But anyway, no, that was great. It was a good experience. And it kind of ties into the clip that we had from Len Robbins there. This whole Tommy DeVito story, because there was an issue. It's interesting. Even though he got bulldozed by the New Orleans Saints and looked more like the quarterback that you would expect to get as a guy that, and the story is he really was desperately seeking to go back to Illinois this year before he signed with the Giants as an undrafted free agent. Tommy DeVito. And it has been all the rage in New York. And, it's a great story. You love these kind of rags to riches stories where, an impossible choice looks like you're in dire straits, as was the case with Jeremy Lin years ago. I don't know that he was quite the same in terms of being an impossible guy to envision coming through like he did, as Tommy DeVito did. And let's hope that Tommy DeVito's run isn't as short-lived as Jeremy Lin's was, although Lin was able to cash in big on it. And DeVito is cashing in on this through his agent, Sean Stellato. Unfortunately, though, his agent has gone rogue now with Tommy DeVito, and it's created some problems for the kid, who seems to be this perfectly, that's part of the charm of the story, isn't it? It was a part of the charm of the story with Tiger Woods for many, many years. This guy that had this great ties with his family and all of these great values. It turned out that was all bullshit. That Tiger Woods was like a raging sexual maniac, which there would have been nothing wrong with. I don't think he did anything that was illegal. These were all consensual experiences he was having with like 100 different women. And that's all well and good, unless you're trying to project a completely different image. The whole business of being a fraud and finding out that everything that we thought about you turned out to be anything but the truth. Tommy DeVito does seem to be the real deal. A very humble kid, lives at home. His father's a plumber. They're in the stands. They're going nuts while the Giants were succeeding. I'm not sure how well they received the bludgeoning that they took in New Orleans. I didn't see the game, so I don't know if they were constantly panning over into the crowd, much in a way that anytime Travis Kelce steps on the field, there's a shot of Taylor Swift. And I don't mind that, because yesterday was happening, oddly, Lubie, and this was kind of interesting. Remember on the Tony Bruno radio show we did, we were touching on the University of Texas San Antonio being involved in the Frisco Bowl. So sort of accidentally, while I'm perusing channels, I happen upon the Frisco Bowl, which is also named after some inferior brand of not Tostitos, but some inferior brand of chips.
Chips. Oh, okay.
Not sure what it is. But anyway, it featured Marshall against the University of Texas San Antonio.
The professor actually had Marshall.
Oh, he did? Well, that was unfortunate because
Marshall ended up losing. Oh, they were winning by 2 touchdowns.
They were up 14-0 early in the game.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was you had the sons of 2 former NFL quarterbacks opposing each other in that game. Chad Pennington, of course. I forgot Chad Pennington went to Marshall. He was throwing the ball to Randy Moss.
They were good. Yes, they were good.
Chad Pennington. Because I was thinking, and, I don't mean to get into any kind of a racist thing, but I'm looking and they have a white quarterback. And I thought, wow, isn't that odd? A white quarterback at Marshall.
Is Marshall an HBCU? I didn't know Marshall. I don't think it's an HBCU.
No, but don't you think of Marshall as being a largely black roster? No?
No, not Marshall.
Marshall?
West Virginia.
We are Marshall?
I don't think it's.
I don't know why I thought it was like I didn't think it was a black school per se. But anyway, all right. So then that wasn't an oddity, but it was Cole Pennington, the son of Chad Pennington, who was in the stands. And then the San Antonio quarterback was the son of, what is it? McCown. Yeah, Owen McCown. Son of Josh McCown.
Oh, that's funny.
Josh McCown, doesn't he look like the guy that was in one of those Rocky movies? Who was the guy? He played Ivan Dragoff or whatever the guy's name was. Remember when Rocky got the shit beat out of him by the Russian? Who was that actor? He looks a spitting image of Josh McCown, who what we found out.
Josh Duhamel? I don't know. What actor?
No, I mean you would know him. I don't know why the name. I'm blanking on the name here because it's early in the morning. But anyway, and McCown. I mean, we found out from our friend Brandon Knight that McCown is like an unbelievable basketball player and a great athlete all the way around. And he's still, I think, involved as a coach.
Yes,
somewhere in the NFL.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think he's coaching quarterbacks or
him possibly getting with the Texans job or something. Even though he had just started getting into coaching.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I presume they're happy they didn't go that route because D'Amico Ryan's actually done a really good job.
Yeah, the guy's been really good. Although they're in a little bit of trouble this week coming up with C.J. Stroud out of lineup. And who can name the backup for the Houston Texans? Do we know? Do we have any idea who that's going to be? Because this is the year of the backup quarterback in the National Football League.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I mean, you had Owen McCown and Cole Pennington going at it. McCown got off to a horrible start. He had a couple of interceptions. Marshall was up 14-0, and they ended up winning 35-17.
So 35-3 run. Utsa went on. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they came back. They got a couple of touchdowns. One on a nice long pass by McCown. The other one was just kind of a little dink pass that went for a TD of 40 yards. And so they're back in the game. It was 14-all. Marshall came back and answered with a field goal. It was 17-14, and then that was it. It was lights out from there, University of Texas, San Antonio. So our sympathies and empathies go out to the professor for having Marshall in this game.
He was getting 10.5. So I'm like, damn, that's almost 3-1. I was like, dang, that's nice. He didn't go.
Oh, my God, you're getting 10.5 on top of that.
Yeah, wow. He was getting 10.5. So, but he was playing the money line. He was playing the 10.5, and he was also playing the money line.
Well, he needed 18.5 as it turned out.
Yeah. I mean, he said he didn't go heavy or anything, but I left that game with a 14-0. I thought it was in the shit.
And you're up 24.5 points. I mean, you're going to have to rally from the dead in order to beat that point spread. That would have been one you would have thought was in the bag. But the Tommy DeVito thing, he almost went back to Illinois. Brett Bielema is a coach at Illinois, and this would have been, it's like 7 years of college down the drain. He was nearly granted a 7th year of eligibility.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, and he was very anxious to go back there because, look, it wasn't like he was highly coveted by the National Football League. Maybe this extra year of college would have done him some good in terms of his professional status.
Yeah.
He did go undrafted. He had some interest from a few different teams. Not all of the offers were especially flattering. He was going to have to try out with the Jets. And I'm not sure what other clubs. There were like a handful of clubs that wanted to sign Tommy DeVito. So he writes this brilliant story, and now he's of cult hero status in New York. So, and things have changed. Sean Stellato, who does look like a wise guy, had booked him for an appearance at a pizza parlor where he was supposed to get $10,000 to show up to this pizza parlor in Morristown, New Jersey. It's called, let me see, I should have underlined this, Coniglio's Old Fashioned in Morristown. He's supposed to show up there, get $10,000, sign a bunch of autographs, and this was scheduled, I guess, before he became this cult hero in New York. So Stellato calls the owner, who I don't know if you can see the picture, people here, of the owner of this restaurant, but he doesn't look like a guy. Can you make that out at all? He doesn't look like a guy that you want to mess with.
Yeah, no, it looks like the guy that would be the owner of a Coniglio's.
Typical New Jersey pizzeria owner. Maybe they, I don't want to make any implications or assertions or make unflattering statements about, because I'm a big fan of these kind of people.
What's that? Italian restaurant and not be of that ilk, but still,
yeah,
you usually are friends with people.
Looks like you got to know somebody to get into this. No, it's supposed to be a great pizza place. So Stellato hits the owner up for double the money now.
You can't do that. Nope.
Calls him back, and says, "Hey, you know what? That was Tommy before. This is Tommy now. You need to give us $20,000."
Nope, you can't do that.
And apparently, this did not sit well with Coniglio, the owner of the restaurant, Big Tony or whatever his name is, and he, started making disparaging remarks about how this Tommy DeVito story, it's a great story, but it's all bullshit because the guy, it turns out, he's acting like an asshole.
I wouldn't have blamed. See, I would assume it's not DeVito. I would assume that, look, if you see this guy, first of all, Brett Tesler's been an agent for how long? Like decades. Have we ever seen him on the sidelines? Like, they don't show, he's not a hovering around. The fact that this Stellato guy is just lingering like that is fucking weird. And I would put dollars or donuts that whatever happens, it's not DeVito. Like, DeVito's just let this dude run amok. And it sort of sucks, but to me, I would blame the agent who looks like a piece of shit, not DeVito himself.
Well, and that's what happened. DeVito felt very badly about this. So it turns out he is the real deal. And he wanted to have a sit down with Coniglio to make peace over this incident, which he said was triggered solely by Sean Stellano's new greed and avarice.
Yeah, he wouldn't be an agent very long.
well, he's still going to remain his agent as a contractual negotiator.
Yeah, we'll see.
But he parted ways with him from his marketing side.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see how long that lasts. I mean, look, agents. We've talked. That's why I like talking to Brett, because he gives us the reality. We always hear stuff behind the scenes. This agent did that. This agent did that. The agents that want to keep their jobs and keep their clients do exactly what their clients say, and they confer with their clients on everything.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, you're not going to be, especially in the NFL, you're not going to be an agent in the NFL very long, especially with anyone worth anything, because you can't do that. Like, you're just messing with the guy's fucking reputation, and that's the only thing he has.
Well, and it didn't sit well, right? I mean, this is at a point where his reputation is not just gathering momentum. I mean, it's soaring right now.
Yeah. And you know how long it's going to last. He hasn't cemented himself as anything. Like, Daniel Jones still is with a big contract. Like,
well, and when you look at the kind of stories that get attention, unfortunately, we've talked about this forever when it comes to covering sports, and you know, you'll have 98% of the people are doing good things and are living exemplary lives. But the 2%, you know, that are always causing trouble, like the Jean Morant story, are the ones that now Jean Morant is going to garner attention no matter what he does, because he's so good at playing basketball, which we saw in evidence last night. And that was another thing that was kind of crazy. I woke up this morning, I guess, you know, I was flipping around and trying to catch some Sports Center, see some highlights from last night's games. ESPN had a ball game on, another ball game, nondescript ball game that I had no interest in. And so, you know, I'm just trying to catch some scores before I fall out and see if there were any big developments or big major stories that happened. So I flip on ESPN2, catch whatever it was that I was looking for. And unfortunately, I woke up to that this morning, Lubie, which was when I woke up this morning. It reminded me of all the reasons that sports talk went into the toilet. And yet ESPN, for some reason, and all of these networks persist in this. Is this what people want? People want like there was a guy, he looked like he was maybe in his late 40s, and a young, very attractive woman. It was from some ESPN radio outlet, 760, which I'm not sure. Are all ESPN stations on the 760 frequency, no matter what city they're in? Because it seems like you always see 760 is the signal, and you don't know what city. But anyway, a very attractive young woman who, you know, it seemed like she was able to go ahead and talk the shtick that it takes to be a sports talk host. I don't, not familiar with her. I didn't put her name up. And these two are just psychoanalyzing Jean Morant.
Oh, God.
And I'm thinking, have you ever even talked to this guy? I mean, how would you know anything about, you know, all of a sudden everybody's Sigmund Freud now.
But now, like, I get it then when it happened. It was our topic of conversation, so we pretended like we know people's brains. But now he's back. He did like a half of the season.
25-game suspension.
Plays great. Like, it's okay to focus on that now. Like, he did his time. Like, Memphis.
Well, they were going into all of these different angles about whether it was good. This was one of the things I love, because, I mean, this is something we should dissect, Lubie. And maybe that's why they're on ESPN and we're, you know, trying to carve our own way here. But they were trying to figure out if it was good that his father was sitting courtside.
What?
Like,
I guess.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Let's hope his father's out there openly supporting him and saying, hey, listen, Ja, most people really liked you, and they love the way that you play basketball. Does anybody go harder?
Oh, his dad's watching him. Well, good. Someone needs to fucking watch, like, whatever angle.
I'm not sure if they were saying it was a good or a bad influence.
What are you even talking about? Oh, my God, I can't.
It's just nuts.
Right now, there's so much going on. Why do they do that? Like,
a half hour about what's good or bad for Jean Morant.
So
what's good is for him anyway, so it seems that he's back playing basketball, and that you would also, just based on his performance, get the idea that maybe this time he took this whole thing to heart. The issue was not that he committed any crimes or anything. It's just that it's a bad image for the NBA to have a guy in a club with his shirt off waving a gun around with a bunch of chicks, you know, slobbering all over him.
Well, brandishing a weapon, I don't know how legal that is.
They don't want Money Mayweather in the NBA.
Duh.
No matter how good, you know, and that's a pretty harsh suspension. Think about that. I mean, Draymond Green has choked a guy and punched a guy in the side of the head, and he may be out for a few weeks. This guy missed a quarter of the season, and while that was happening, essentially what was
done.
Yeah, like attaching a lead weight to the legs of the Memphis Grizzlies' chances of doing anything this year, because they came into the game after his 25-game absence at 6-19. So they're finished for the season. I mean, essentially have no chance to do anything. What's the best they can hope for?
I mean, they can make a run, but the problem is the West, like the bad teams are at the top, the Thunder, the Kings, and the T-Wolves, and the good teams are struggling. So, you would have to feel like the Lakers and the Warriors will make some kind of a move. And the Suns, like, that's the problem for a
the
team.
Suns lose last night to Portland.
The Suns are scoring around, but at some point you think they'd be decent. Like the Lakers, the Suns, and the Warriors should be decent. I don't know what run they make, and they already have a better record than the Grizzlies. Like, where do the Grizzlies go?
It's weird. I don't know if they changed the configuration of the roster any around Ja Morant, but they were actually pretty good when he was suspended last year.
Yeah, because of Dylan Brooks. As much as he's a fucking lunatic, Dylan Brooks would step up like Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and then the Bane guy, who I guess body slammed him. The Bane guy weirdly would become superhuman when Ja was out. Dylan Brooks being gone from their franchise has changed everything. Without Ja, they're the team without their superstar.
Pretty amazing. I mean, if you're going to come back, why not come back in grand style? They were down, I think, over 20 at one point in that game, the Memphis Grizzlies, and they're playing the New Orleans Pelicans. I believe, it was in New Orleans too. So they're on the road, and Ja Morant comes through with 34 points, 12 of 24 shooting, 8 assists, 2 steals, a block, and he nails the game winner with about seconds left on the clock. A buzzer-beating game winner of sorts, and pretty spectacular, right? And who doesn't enjoy watching that guy play? It's very similar to, although in an even more spectacularly athletic way, to watching a young Dwayne Wade, where everybody said that, wow, if he continues to play like this, it's going to be NFL, not for long.
Wade, but even more athletic. And Wade was ridiculously athletic, but like Ja's just different.
Yeah.
Like springs.
Takes more pratfalls than Tony Hawk did on his way up, in those crazy X Games performances that he was on, where we knew that ESPN was determined to try and get somebody killed. The only reason they were staging these things. All right, let's bring on a guy who could discuss all of this with us. And it's always a pleasure to welcome this man to the show. Are you getting flooding up there, Tony Segreto? You look great, by the way, Tony. What are you doing? You said you stopped coloring your hair. You look great. You look dark and thick and rich.
I'm getting a haircut today.
You look good.
They have barbers here?
Yeah, they have
okay. How far do you have to go? Do you go like by horse and buggy? How do you get there? You're in the country.
I love the way we picture Vermont.
We lucked out. We didn't have any flooding where we are. There was some flooding.
Maine was hit like ridiculously hard.
Maine was hit hard. We were hit hard. I mean, it didn't stop raining for a day and a half.
Oh yeah,
wow.
But we're all through it. It's sun is shining. The weather's beautiful. It's Christmas time. It's a great time of the year.
Now, what are the Segreto family plans for Christmas? Are you all gathering there in your digs in Vermont? I mean, how quaint and beautiful is that?
We're all gathering here.
Nice.
Is it snowing? I know it's been cold, but is it like snowing? Like, do you have snow?
No, we expect some snow on Christmas Eve.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Now you're going to be having your son schlep out there in 2 feet snowdrifts
find it. Do I have it?
to grill those Texas Roadhouse steaks that Ed Garcia is going to send you?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. A little sadomasochistic approach. Yeah. There it is. In the snow, barefoot in the snow.
Look, it's like the Hank Aaron look when Bud Selig had the people behind him. Congratulate Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Like, the look is like, I can't believe you're making me do this, Dad. You're taking a picture of me, you piece of work.
He looks happy though.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Next week, my son will be here on the day we do the show.
It's like they say in federal trials: the tapes are damaging. Yeah,
I will ask him to come on to tell you he wasn't forced to do that. It was his idea.
It's a better story this way. Let's face it.
I love it. There's no way he was forced, but just the idea of Tony being, get out there.
Are the steaks ready? Yeah, way to go, Tone. I mean, how you feeling, kid? You all right? Did you scalp your Orange Bowl tickets yet? That's a big question. We were asked about this several times in the past week.
Who's playing? Is anyone playing? Is anyone playing for either team?
That first round draft pick for FSU just opted out yesterday.
FSU's had like 16 between transfers and opt-outs. Because remember, transfers also don't play. So FSU's had like 16. I think Georgia. I think both are going to have over 20 by the time the game.
But still, people who go to the school.
Yeah, no. I mean, I will support. Yeah,
they're into it. Yeah.
Want some tickets, Lubie?
I actually, man.
Yeah, but we're not paying face, Tony.
I was gonna try and get a press pass, but then I feel bad not bringing my dad because we really.
You have to go. I mean, you should get. You can't pop Lubie 2 tickets to a game that is it sold out still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's good to hear.
I haven't sold out.
Secondary market. Are you seeing any values there? So it still should be. It's a shame, unfortunately, what's happened here. I mean, how do you feel about that, Tony, as a member of the committee? You have a game that is absolutely of marquee quality.
Yeah, oh no, it's 5.
You got the Georgia Bulldogs, #1 team in the country the entire season until they lost to Alabama.
Yep.
And it wasn't like they got trounced by Alabama. And then you have Florida State, who won all of their ball games this year. And I thought, and I think we all agree on this, and it's ridiculous to have a criteria set up where you're going to judge who's prettier, which girl is prettier, the one with the one loss or the one with no losses and a backup quarterback. But by the very nature of any kind of qualifier, you should have accorded, the team with no losses a huge edge over the team with one.
It's a shame. It is a damn shame. But we're the beneficiaries of it because we have a marquee game, as you said.
Yeah.
But they belong in the playoffs, and I think they're going to come out against Georgia, whether they have nobody or everybody. And try and prove to them and prove to everybody else that they belong. And it would be nothing better than for Florida State to beat Georgia. Nothing better.
Oh no, I'd love to see that. A 14-0 team with a win over Georgia, a team that literally was in the #1 position.
Oh.
What was that? Not throughout the entire year.
Throughout the entire year, except the last week.
And they can't do any better than to finish 4th. Or 5th in the final rankings.
They're not in the playoffs.
Right. That's nuts.
That's
no,
crazy.
I hope they win. I don't know what Georgia's status is for this game. I mean, I just happen to see on
tons of opt-outs, and they've had a lot of transfers too.
Is the coach even showing up?
Well, the funny thing is, there's supposedly rumors that he is interested in the Falcons job, which I didn't know the Falcons coach got fired already, but I guess,
Kirby is?
Yeah, I mean, again, those are rumors. Rumors what are rumors? But again, this is about the age. This is about the age that Saban did leave for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He said about this, he's actually had more success than Saban had. So, I mean, look, you dealt with these coaches, they always want a challenge. Like Harbaugh was doing so well in the NFL. He said, fuck it, let me go back to college, see if I can do it there. He's not leaving per se, but it's just interesting, like these schools, it's not forever. Like the success we saw with USC, it's just, you can't count on it forever. What Alabama's done, what FSU did in the 80s, 90s, what UM did in the 80s, it's really tough to replicate because once you hit that success, everyone wants you.
The only successful coach to do it was Jimmy.
There haven't been any other college coaches who went on to success in the pros?
Carroll. Carroll was
Carroll,
just the exact same thing. He won and won, but no one else.
Super Bowl championship.
No one else.
Yeah. Who's your cat, Lubie? Introduce us to your cat.
It's unfortunate, that the cat has stolen the show. All right, so what are your activities, Tony? You were always now you're going to be back in town because don't you always do these? A lot of hosting, and you're the master of ceremonies at a bunch of events, and they do stage some nice events surrounding the art.
Great events, some great events.
So what's coming up for you?
And we have a luncheon, we have a dinner,
Got breakfast too. Yeah, you're eating all 3 meals. It sounds like the Mayo Show.
Yeah, exactly. But they have a lot of events, and for people who can't go to the game, for example, the Orange Bowl Tennis Classic is by far the best of its kind.
Oh, that is great. Yes.
It is the best of its kind. Chris Evers played, McEnroe has played, Connors has played. I mean, Yvonne Lundell has played. The greats of the greats have played in the tournament. So I expect it to be.
When is that? Is that this week?
Yeah. This week and next week.
No, I mean, there's serious talent on display there. I mean, these are the top players. You're going to see, especially on the women's side, you'll see a lot of these young girls that are like 16, 17, and they go right into the pros. and definitely is a tournament that puts many top players on the map. The Orange Bowl Classic. So that's going on. Did he still have the parade, or is that the thing of the past?
No,
because I used to go to the Orange Bowl parade. Believe it
that
or
was
not.
great.
Great anticipation.
The parade is a thing of the past, and it's a shame. It's a shame because it was a marquee. Yeah, because it marked the start of the year. It started the Christmas season. It's a shame it doesn't have it.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And now, are you going to be talking to both of the coaches here? You're going to meet with Norvell and Kirby Smart?
and Kirby Smart, absolutely.
And,
do you ask Norvell the magic question, like how does he feel about getting fucked?
Yeah, I mean, is
that the way you're going to put it on the stuff that's out there by the Orange Bowl?
Yeah, it'll be put out there by the Orange Bowl.
Very
good.
I
won't say, Mike, how does it feel to get fucked?
Can you?
Who's the chairman of the committee? Can you imagine? He says, "I want to introduce you to the guy. He's the epitome of class. Distinguished 40-year career in broadcasting in South Florida. Did every major event. He's interviewed presidents. And you sit down, you shake his hand, and you say, 'Listen, Mike, let's get right to it. How does it feel to get fucked?'" Now, I don't know. Would he respect that, or would he bristle and think, "Who is this schmuck?"
He'd probably appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's thinking that, so it's unfortunate.
So listen. Let's get on to the holiday season. What are you guys doing for the holidays? Now, I know we both had Hanukkah, but Lubie, you share both.
Yeah. I mean, Defo been doing Christmas his whole life. I have always enjoyed Christmas because most of my friends were of the Christian persuasion. I've been married and been with a Dominican Catholic for
all Jews marry shiksas
years. Yeah. So yes, we do. We have her parents, and they're Dominican. So Noche Buena, they do Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we go back to their house, and the morning we have breakfast, and they open up gifts, and they're insane with gifts. Like they act like little kids. Literally, everyone gets millions of gifts, and everyone gets one gift at a time, and everyone watches. And they open it, and it was like, "Oh my God!"
A new car. It's kind of like being on The Price is Right.
Exactly. Yeah. You can track, so you know exactly what you got. But they all always act surprised. "Oh my God, the thing I asked for?
Yeah,
I didn't know." That's what we do.
What about you, Jeff?
I always have a nice family gathering arranged by either my son and his wife or my son's wife's mother, and they do a great job. So we'll be heading over there. My two grandchildren, it's terrific because I have an easy time of it. I don't have to pick out anything clever. There's no toy that's ever been manufactured, and toys that haven't even been invented yet that these two kids don't have. They happen to have, through a variety of things, divorces and such, a great number of grandparental types. But they always expect from me, and I've been saying this, and it makes it real easy for me. My son Liam, his idol is Jeff Bezos. He wants to be Jeff Bezos. You ask him who his favorite person is, he says Jeff Bezos. He's all about money. And so
your son or your grandson?
My grandson. No, my son's fine. My son's a very humble, very likable guy, and he's doing well for himself. So he's okay. But Liam, he wants $100 bill every time, and so Christian, who's 3 years younger, he also wants $100 bill. So and they actually call it a stick because they've learned the terminology. So it's kind of like I show up, they give me a little hug there around the kneecaps and a high five, and they say, "Grandpa Defo, you got my stick?" It's almost like I showed up at the track, and ran into Jersey Kyle or something. So it's great. But, no, they're always a good time. I mean, they do a great job. Whoever's hosting the party always does a great job.
Liam's your only son?
No,
Jesse's my only son. Liam and Christian are my two grandchildren. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm very fortunate in that regard. I lucked out doing something, Tony.
You lucked out.
I did. I mean, because you think about the arbitrary circumstances by which people get together and how you actually, I don't know what the story is about how your parents met or whatever. Mine, I mean, is really an almost impossible conception if you think about it. My mother is in, Nazi Germany, and my father's living in Missouri and wants to come to New York because he's got these artistic desires and pursuits that he wants to undertake. And so New York City was going to be a much better place for that than, some hick town in Missouri where he's from. What were the chances of these two people ever meeting, much less conceiving children? And then I met Jesse's mother in the most bizarre, unusual circumstance, a chance meeting like you can't imagine. And the fact that we even were able to connect after that, what was a long shot. But nonetheless, I mean, if that doesn't happen, these bizarre circumstances, there is no Jesse, there's no Liam and Christian, and that's why life's so interesting, my friend. It's very much a game of chance, Tony Segreto.
Yes, it is.
Very much a game of chance.
I have a friend of mine who's a Cuban, and his father was a soldier in the United States Army, and his mother was a Cuban.
Oh, wow.
And they met in Cuba, and they got married. Jeez. And it's an amazing story. It's amazing. She worked in the tobacco fields. He worked in the tobacco fields. It was just an amazing story. But my parents, they're both Italian. They're both from New Jersey, and they met and they went to school together. And there's no happenstance there. It's a great story.
It's nice. Total chance. If I don't see this sign while I'm actually with another woman in Key West, and I'm literally, engaged in one of anybody's favorite acts, and I happen to look over on the side and I see a little card that says advertising Bob's Shrimp Boat in Key West. And so I'm thinking, after I finish this, let's go get something to eat. And then we ended up at Bob's Shrimp Boat, and it turned out some guy that I knew when I was living on Long Island as a teenager was there. He recognized me somehow. This is years and years later, and he was with a couple of women, and they were both very attractive. And I thought, whichever woman, the girl I was with, was going to be leaving and going back to her home in California, where we were. I just moved here from California, and I was thinking, whichever one of these two women this guy is not with, I want to meet her. And that's what happened.
Romantic. Romantic. Defo is
I'm already ready to ditch the girl that I'm with.
And how long were you with her?
That's Jesse's mother.
Oh, Jesse's mother. We were married 8 years.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Was that your longest?
No. I went 10 full rounds. I went to the scorecards with my second wife, and I was a loser on all cards. It was 190. There were actually a few knockdowns in there. Thank God for the 3 knockdown rule.
Was it? This is the third one now, right?
This would be number 3. Yes, the Mustang.
How long have you been married?
We've been married a while now. What was it? 2015 Super Bowl, Lubie? Is it 8 years? What was the? We go by Super Bowls.
I think it was 2016. I think
might have been 2016. We were in San Francisco for the Super Bowl, and it was Denver versus the Carolina Panthers with Cam Newton. Right?
Yes.
Everybody thought, and Denver was trying to use a disabled Peyton Manning at quarterback, and somehow they won the game. So that's what, 2016. So 7-8 years, something like that. Yeah. You were going the distance with this one though, Tony.
I was. Yes. We figured out the other night that my wife figured out that we have been together for 40 years.
Wow, mazel tov.
And we've been married 33 of them.
Wow. Okay.
Is that right, Rose? Yeah, 33.
Oh, she's there. Oh, beautiful. You want to introduce her to the audience here, or is that?
She will not come on.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you who will come on, and this is great because we want
Garcia. Yes, sir. Michigan football. Go blue. Go blue.
I love the fact that you're flying in the day of the game, Ed Garcia.
Absolutely. I am ready to rock and roll.
Can I tell you something?
Go for it.
There are so many people hoping that Harbaugh just destroys.
Oh, yeah. Become America's team, even though a piece of
we are with you, Ed Garcia.
Let's go.
Yeah,
it is insane. It is insane. And then and the people are saying that Alabama should win, but boy, I'm hoping.
Me too. You know what? I mean, everybody. It's going to be a big battle for sure. And there are some very, very solid teams. I mean, that's what makes it the playoffs. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I'm that competitive edge to get Michigan to the top. So I'll be screaming my lungs out.
What do you think they're going to do? I mean, are they just going to try to jam the ball? They essentially ran the ball and, overwhelmed teams with their running game in the games that were important to them, Penn State and Ohio State. Are they going to do this against Alabama? Because I think, Tony, the old cliche kind of applies that you don't want to give Nick Saban, maybe the same is applicable to Harbaugh, but, when Nick Saban has the 5-6 weeks of preparation, he usually has a way of figuring things out.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but they hired our defensive coach from last year, pretty much on the spot. They had him that day. Basically, they're like, hey, you're hired and you're starting working right now. But I think the game changer, I feel like we're going to run the ball a lot because that is with Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, and everything else. That's going to be a really big piece. The defense is what's going to be the game changer. Alabama does have a good quarterback. He doesn't have the experience that J.J. McCarthy has. But what is going to dictate the game is the explosive plays. And Michigan has done a fantastic job this year of preventing any explosive plays because you look at the Michigan-Ohio State game, not this year, but last year, if we can get Donovan that ball and every 15th play, just, hey, have JJ, drop back into the pocket and throw that ball, I think that's what's going to put us out on top. But our defense is what's got us. Every single person on that team got us to where we're at today, but the defense, I think, is a cut above everyone else.
Is JJ going to be able to throw 9 passes and survive?
Hey, Greasy did it, right?
I think so. And what I love about JJ is that he's going to do what the team needs that day. He is obviously the Heisman's done and over with or this, that. He is going to, if he needs to hand off the ball for a run, he'll hand off the ball for the run. He's going to do what works best. What the defense of Alabama is showing, he'll figure it out, and we'll either run, pitch, or throw.
Is he coming back next year?
With the NIL money out there, who knows? I'm sure there's a lot of boosters, including myself, would love to contribute. But other than that, it's a tough piece.
Well, will we be seeing this kid holding up a bone-in ribeye?
That is for sure.
And I don't understand why you guys don't sponsor Michigan, like things like that.
Open places.
Well, we do feed them. That is for sure. And I think I told you we've been feeding University of Miami quite a bit recently, and it's been very successful. The team absolutely loves Texas Roadhouse. I mean, who wouldn't want? And those boys can eat. They order 2 entrees, 2 entrees per person. So, but anyway.
Oh, geez.
The thing is with Texas Roadhouse, we obviously get a lot of requests, and very rarely do you see us, on national television or this, that. What makes Texas Roadhouse, I think, part of our business model, and really it's a community model, is that every Texas Roadhouse has a managing partner, which is basically an owner-operator, and they give directly back to the community. And they choose partnerships within that community, whether it's your local Boys and Girls Club, other fundraisers and different things in that piece, and they choose to do that. Because on a national level, we kind of stand back and say, hey, you do what is going to be what's right for you. So if there's a family that's struggling, or they have a son that, may need a specific procedure or something like that, they allocate the funds for that piece right there. Now, supporting things like Michigan and things like that, you go into the Ann Arbor, Texas Roadhouse, and there is a huge mural of Harbaugh on the team. And guess what? He signed it right then and there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because when we actually when we opened that Texas Roadhouse, he came in and gave an opening speech for the team, which was really cool. I wish I was there. They didn't tell me till afterwards, so I'm slightly bitter. Actually, a lot bitter. But anyway, so yeah. But that's how we we do our advertising. I love that that we give back to the community. I mean, that where I was yesterday, they were doing some fundraising for the band of the local high school, and on and on and on. It's just, that's what's great. That's what I love. one of the big things that I love about Texas Roadhouse. They're just very ingrained in the community, and shout out to all the managing partners out there that do that. So just a fantastic job.
How have gift certificates gone for you?
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, inside the store, outside of the store. I actually got an update here in about an hour. We have our big call. I mean, it is really one of the easiest, and it's a great gift. So I cannot believe Christmas is on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean,
less than a week away. It's nuts.
It is. I mean, that's the one thing about Florida. I'm sure in Vermont you're already feeling it with the snow and the granted, it is a little chilly this morning. When I let the puppy out this morning, it's brisk out there, but it definitely doesn't feel like Christmas for us that grew up in the north. But gift cards are going great. I mean, there's just a lot of great things. I'll tell you, if you're not using the mobile app right now, I mean, yesterday and Tuesday, or Monday and Tuesday, I mean, it feels like a Saturday night when you're in the restaurant because college kids are coming home. My oldest is done with school, so the houses are filling up and everyone's coming into Texas Roadhouse, and it's very, very, very busy, which, hey, I am not complaining by no means, but get your name on that wait so you don't have to wait too long, and you can enjoy a great cooked meal with the baked potato, the green beans that are got a little bit of bacon in there to give it some of that love, all that great stuff. So we hope to see you soon.
And again, are you guys close Christmas? Like, what are your Christmas hours?
So Christmas Eve will close. Most of the restaurants will close 8 or 9, which is on Sunday. Typically a very, very, softer dinner. In the morning, we'll have people flying around, buying last-second gifts and maybe getting a bite to eat. But Christmas Day, we are closed. There's one of 2 days. Thanksgiving and Christmas were closed. But the 26th, even though it's going to fall on Tuesday, a lot of our Texas Roadhouses open up for lunch that week because people are out of work and they want to come in. And so just check with your local Texas Roadhouse to see if they're open that day. But those, from the 26th to the 31st, and I'll tell you, New Year's Eve too, that is a busy day because I know like Lubie, he's going to get a bone-in ribeye before he goes out and throws down.
Exactly.
So, yep.
Got to have something to settle the stomach there and
lay
the foundation for all the booze. Well, we wish you the best of luck. We're all with you. I think Tony's on board with this.
Yes.
I know Lubie is.
Finally.
We'll see. They play after Christmas, so we'll see them again.
Yeah, we'll see you again before that. But and enjoy Pasadena. Have you been to the Rose Bowl before? I would imagine yes.
It's great.
You know what? This will be my first full time going in there and cheering on the Blues. So yes,
it's a lot of fun. Great place for college football.
Great
no
place
doubt.
for college football.
Yeah. Well, Ed, we love you and Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for your support of the program. It's greatly and deeply appreciated. And we're big fans of both you and Texas Roadhouse Restaurants. So have the merriest of Christmases, and we'll see you before you take off for Pasadena next week.
Merry Christmas and go Blue.
All right. Sounds good. Ed Garcia, ladies and gentlemen.
He's classic.
What a great guy, huh?
He's fantastic.
I did was never part of this college football playoff system, but so I don't think they would have never played in the Rose Bowl then because it was always Big Ten versus
whatever.
He did.
Did they? Okay.
The game where they annihilated the shit out of Nebraska was in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, okay. Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, I've been to the Rose Bowl 5 times.
Oh, wow.
For Super Bowls and national championships and regular bowl games.
Remember, they started the BCS.
Yeah.
So they stopped. Well, you had to just.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then they started making arrangements at the different bowl games. You're right.
Like now.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. No, I used to go there on a pretty regular basis because I did a lot of coverage of UCLA football. And so covered many games there. And, of course, we used to go to the Rose Bowl game annually and cover that as well. Very interesting trip. I mean, it smacks of college football in, a very large number 2 market in the country, Los Angeles, a sprawling Los Angeles. And yet you really do get that kind of college football feel when you go to the Rose Bowl game. It's great.
No doubt about it.
In conjunction with the parade and all of that. So, a real classic event. Interesting, though. Didn't Ed tell us last week that he was coming in on like a red eye?
Yeah, going like that day.
And going straight to the stadium. And this guy has stamina. What?
He
and have to start eating all meals at Texas Roadhouse.
He and his wife. Yeah, we got to start eating. We got to start eating once a week, two times a week there. Maybe we'll get that kind of stamina.
That would be good. Yeah, I'd love to have Ed Garcia's energy. No, the guy's fantastic. All right, Tony, we wish you all the best of Christmas holidays. You're a great American. Everybody loves you here. And you're looking good, sounding good. And hopefully all goes well. A little light, powder or snow would be nice, wouldn't it, on Christmas Eve falling there?
It would be great.
Because I have to say, a friend of mine has a place in Vermont, and he puts pictures up on social media all the time. He doesn't send his children out in the snow to grill steaks for him, but on the right kind of days, I mean, you could not get any more of a majestic view
for like an hour.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's
the first hour or two, then it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Was that a gas grill, by the way, or did you have to stand out there and like rub two sticks together?
100% charcall. Look at this.
It's a charcoal grill.
That is an old school grill, Segreto. I mean, you never got like some free grill of all your television work. You never sent like a Weber to the station.
We got a Weber here.
Okay.
They have a good grill.
Yeah, it's a Pete Weber. Right?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
All right, we love you, Tony Segreto. Everybody loves you down here. So thanks so much for being with us. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Tony Segreto, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my favorite thing ever.
That's great that you constantly post that picture, man, because it really, it's such a sordid underside to the Tony Segreto saga.
I just love the smile because we've met his son. His son has a genuine smile. That's not his smile. That's
the look. You hit it on the head. It's Hank Aaron having on the big video screen, and he's congratulating Barry Bonds on breaking his all-time home run record, which was the last thing on earth he ever wanted to see happen, and the last person on earth he ever wanted to see do it. And then they made the mistake of pulling the cameras back, and there's 4 guys with ski masks on and AK-47s pointing at his head as he goes, I want to congratulate Barry on the fine accomplishment. I know how hard I worked to get this.
Exactly.
My God. I mean, the last thing on earth you would imagine the classy and dignified Hank Aaron would want to do is have to follow this schlep around to all of the places. Even Selig threw in the towel after a while because didn't it take Bonds? Took him a few games before he actually hit
well, they never pitched to him. That's what
broken the record. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How many did he end up with? I don't even know.
73, right? That year he had 73. Oh, the overall record. I don't know. 70. It wasn't a 750. Was it 756?
Hank had 755. Hank Aaron.
No, he blew it out. Then he had 770.
Oh yeah, I don't think he got to 800 though. But 770 something. What was interesting too? I mean, do you even know? I honestly can tell you, Lubie, I've been a baseball fan my whole life. Everybody knew, about Roger Maris in '61, Babe Ruth in '60.
762. I guess he literally was that year, and then he got blackballed. Remember, no one would give him a chance, even though he could still hit homers. He sort of got blackballed.
Nobody wanted to deal with this clown.
Yes.
Wasn't the most pleasant of people, at least at the time. Maybe he's turned out to be a real good guy and, very, very engaging, much like the images now of Tiger Woods, where you only see him with his family and stuff, even though you notice what story really got buried by the press. I'm not sure, what kind of shelf life it actually had, but that whole business where he locked his girlfriend out of the house and I just told her to go away and then she was suing him. What happened with that story? That thing just disappeared, huh? And now all you see with Tiger, and it's fine. The guy deserves to catch a break here and there from all of the scrutiny he's been under, but his whole life. But all you see is, charming shots of Tiger as a family man. Right back to projecting this image. It's great. Meanwhile, how cold was that, right? He just locked her out of the house. Her stuff was already in a pod on the back of a truck. Sayonara, sweetheart. You should have never left the house for lunch. All right, we have to get out of here. Right? Thanks to Tony Segreto for joining us. A little bit of a holiday spirit show here. I'm glad we didn't have to spend 45 minutes psychoanalyzing Jean Morant. Well, what's good for Jean is good for the... how do these people do this all day long?
I don't know.
My God.
But I don't.
Everybody's Sigmund Freud. This 24-year-old babe, did she major in psychiatry while she was in school?
I don't know. It's funny. There's plenty of content out there. There's plenty of things to discuss, and they still force feed stupid ass topics.
Same stories, yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Anybody that was inclined to say, "Hey, you need to be more topical," where would we be hearing that? All right, we will see you guys later, and we won't be with you Friday, so we'll close out our Christmas week holiday shows tomorrow right here on South Florida Live. And, of course, we love the re-airs that we get on 5 Reasons Sports Network. Ethan Skolnick's fine group. That guy works hard, huh? Skolnick?
Yes,
Scoop.
yes, he's all over the place. Yeah, he still covers stuff. Yeah, he still goes to like Dolphins games, and
he's amazing, right? He covers like 800 games. Imagine that.
Yeah,
I'd much rather go and do the lunchbox like we will be doing later today at Grandpa's and just sit there and eat. It's fantastic. It's almost like being in the press box without having to be there.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you next time as we leave it on that.
The time.
It's 9:03.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they brought.